What's going on, guys? So in the past I've done a video like this already, but obviously because of my lack of, as much income as I was making before, I don't really have the money to go out and buy new frames and new emblems or even emblem overlays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little DIY of how to black out the frames on your own. Really, honestly, it's for a minimal amount of money. I mean, all you do need is just some, gloss black or whatever what vinyl you need in order to do this, or whatever color you want, which is going to be way cheaper than, the frames that are out there, which I believe are like 20 to 40 bucks, or, depending on where you get them. This can be done for dollars. I mean, like just maybe $1 or $2. It just all depends on if you have some vinyl lying around, or if you know somebody where you can get some scrap vinyl. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to DIY my own black outer casing for the emblem, and then also I do have a little bit of tint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tint the emblem itself, give it kind of a ghost appearance, surrounded by the gloss black, frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't have as much income as I used to, so this is more or less DIY, showing you the process of blacking out your own emblem without having to go buy a set. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get the emblem off and prep everything, show you guys the process of wrapping it, and go from there. So obviously that was a lot easier having the right tools in order to get the emblem off, compared to my last video where I installed the frames. You guys can check out the video. I'll have the link in the description down below. If you want to just go ahead and do the frames, buy them from Subispeed or Subi Bros or whatever like that. Like I said, being on a fixed budget, I kind of have to do my own DIY. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that emblem. So obviously what you want to do is you want to clean up this area before you reinstall the emblem. Having some 3M double-sided tape also helps. But so we got the emblem off here. I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning it up, and we'll start wrapping it. So prep work is key when working with vinyl. So what I did is I got off as much. There's still a little bit of residue on the back side of this, but I got off as much of the double-sided tape as I could off of this, which will be just fine. So what you want to do, take your rag, spray down some alcohol, and just thoroughly clean the surface of the emblem case, because I completely spaced on what it's actually called. It's been one of those days, so I apologize. So as you can see in here, there was a lot of dirt and grime. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera or not, but there was a lot of dirt in the grime kind of down here where the emblem sits. Just make sure every little nook and cranny that you can get, you clean it off as well as you can. So go ahead and keep doing this. Looks like it's actually pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead and get a scrap piece of vinyl real quick and go from there. You take your scrap piece of whatever vinyl you want to use. We use 3M 1080 or economy vinyl. So I got some of that right now. Just take it, put it over the emblem bezel, and just kind of work it around, so that way you get that first edge nice and sealed. So as you see, you're gonna have to pull on it a little bit, especially around the corners and everything like that. But once you get that initial outer seal nice and locked in, then you will be able to work on everything else. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I do have the heat gun all ready to go to work out the corners. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that going now and show you guys how easy it is to do your own emblem bezels in black instead of having to buy them from Subispeed or anywhere else. So it took a little persuading with the heat gun, especially on the tight corners like right here. But this is what it's gonna look like when you work it all the way around. What I wanna do, or what I'm suggesting that you guys do so that way it doesn't lift up, is let me find the little section I've already done right here. So there's a little lip, let me get it right in the middle of the camera there. There's a little lip that goes around the inside of the bezel. So what you want to do is keep working the vinyl in until you can press it down and lock it in on this lip. And all this stuff obviously is going to get cut off and trimmed up and everything like that. But get it on that lip so that way you can avoid any lift. And there you go. So you have the full outside of the bezel completely wrapped. Now all it is just trimming off the excess on the inside, and I will go ahead and show you guys how to do that, or where to do that really, in 1 second. So you can see what it looks like on the back now that everything has been trimmed off. So everything is good to go on the back. You do want to leave a little bit of a crease, or not a crease, but a little bit extra on the back, so that way you can tuck it properly. That way it won't really finger up at all. Obviously, on the complex corners, there's nothing you can do about some fingers there. I mean, if there is anything you guys can do, or anything you know that you can do, obviously I'm still trying to learn. So if you have any ideas whatsoever, go ahead and drop them in the comments. But that is what it is looking like, and it looks like just like the ones you buy on Subispeed or Subaru. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the center. My phone is about to die, so I'm going to try to get as much of this as I can. If it dies, I will just have to give you guys a recap of what it looks like when it's installed, or just try to find my phone charger somewhere and charge the phone for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. I'm going to cut out the center. I'm going to get it all tucked and everything like that. And like I said, I will show you guys what it looks like after, regardless if my phone dies or not. I'll just go ahead and charge it for a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step, which I'll explain it real quick. All you're going to want to do is just basically trim around and tuck it as best you can. The emblem actually comes right out to the lip here, so you really won't see much as far as the inner casing of the bezel. So you just have to basically trim it, tuck it, heat set it, and you'll be good to go to start, if you want, tinting the actual emblem portion, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. So, like I predicted, right after I finished that last little video clip, my phone did die. So what I did was just cut out the centerpiece, made sure that it was nice and tucked. There are a couple little cut marks right there where obviously the vinyl had to be cut on each side to make it so that way it would tuck around. But that's it right there. Honestly, I mean, if you're planning on doing something like this, any type of vinyl wrap or anything like that, if you mess up the first time, don't get discouraged. Literally just take your time, work it out, use heat, not a lot of heat, but use enough heat that you need to manipulate the vinyl how you need it. Like I said, I had to heat the corners in order for it to lay correctly, but take your time, don't get discouraged, keep at it, keep trying. My first vinyl wrap job was my first the roof wrap, which you can go back and watch. I mean, I was completely new at wrapping anything. I mean, I did a couple of little interior panels and stuff like that, but nothing like a roof. Just take your time with it, and you will achieve it. And like I said, doing it this way, even if you try it once and you mess up, I mean, you're out like maybe a couple bucks. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, then obviously go ahead and buy the pre-made bezels for the emblems. So anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. I do have a little piece of not window tint, but it's called Dragon Laminates. Basically, it's like what was it, Linex, the company that makes like fog lamp overlays and stuff like that. Kind of basically the same company, but we had a little bit of lying around the shop, so I was like, you know what, this is kind of a cool idea. So what I'm gonna do is I already cleaned off the emblem here, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. This does have two different sides, one with a sticky side, and the other side has like a protective shield on it, so you gotta figure out which one's which. It's kind of a bitch to figure out or pull up any of the sheets, so it took me a little while to figure that out, but I've got it figured out now. I'm gonna go ahead and put it over the emblem here, and first what you want to do is I've got some soapy water solution, because just like the Laminex ones, you do have to put that underneath it. It does get rid of any bubbles and stuff like that, so applying this kind of vinyl is different than applying, like a roof wrap or something like that. You do have to wet it down, and it'll help out immensely. And because this thing fits so snug inside the bezel, you can't really wrap it around the sides. What I had to do on the front one is I actually had to trim it like right there. So I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like after it's trimmed up and installed, and then we'll put it back on that. I've got some double-sided tape right there, and we'll go ahead and get this back on the car, and I'll show you the end product. But I'm just letting you guys know that if you want to do something like this, if you're short on a budget, if you don't really have a lot of money, but you want to do something, this is something that's really cost effective, that I've got vinyl lying at home too. If you guys want to try this, you're more than welcome to hit me up, and I will send you enough vinyl to do this. I've got different, you know, vinyls. I've got like a flat black, gloss black. So if you guys are interested in doing this, just hit me up and I will gladly send you some vinyl so you can try this yourself, because I'm all about people trying to modify their cars. And if you don't have the money to do it, I will gladly help you guys out however I can. So I'm going to go ahead and get going on this and get this thing tinted and put it all back together, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when we'll get it back on the car. And right there is the finished product. So you really won't see the difference. I mean, you know, you kind of can see the difference with the tint on there, but you won't really see it until you get on the car, and especially out in the sun, because I did this to the front grille already just as a tester, and I loved it. And it looks good because it actually matches all the piano black that's on the front now because of the 18 front grille. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the car, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then you can definitely see the contrast and see this thing installed. And there's the finished product. As you can tell on the car, I mean, it's like a night and day difference from having the chrome and the really, you know, bright Subaru logo to having, you know, it's smoked out and having the black frame. I'm absolutely in love with it. So, like I said earlier, if you guys want to try this yourself, I do have some extra 3M vinyl at home, some gloss black. Hit me up in the comments, hit me up on my Instagram, anything like that. I will send you a sheet. You know, you don't really need a lot. So I'll send you a sheet of vinyl. You guys can try it yourself. All I ask is this, you know, you show me the progress. I want to see that you guys can do this. I mean, like I said, it's really easy if you just take your time. So, thank you guys so much. I will link the original video with the actual painted black bezels that I made over a year ago. I will link that in the description down below. But like I said, this is real simple to do, guys. So, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for everything. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.